if you spend enough time digging through underground rap, eventually you run into artists that don't really fit anywhere.
Hey, Glock with the beam, same color as the money, bitches green. These niggas ain't on the motherfucking thing. He tryna be Lord, he cannot be me. Baby, shake that ass, hands on your knees.
Not fully rap, not fully rock, not SoundCloud, not mainstream, just their own thing. And somewhere in that middle lane sits Lord DeAndre, a Georgia trap artist who calls himself the father of trap and roll. After digging through music, visuals, social media, interviews, clips, performances, and fan decisions, you kind of understand why. Because Lord DeAndre isn't just making songs, he's building a world. And that world gets even stranger once you realize this isn't some random underground artist. Over the years, Lord has collected support, cosigns, collaborations, and attention from artists, DJs, skateboarders, creators, and internet communities from completely different lanes. Once you start digging, the rabbit hole gets deep. Lord DeAndre comes out of Georgia, operating mostly outside the traditional industry system. And that matters because a lot of artists build careers by immediately moving to major cities, Atlanta, LA, New York, but underground culture works differently. It grows from communities, DIY shows, studios, skate spots, internet scenes, and friends creating things together, an energy that feels all over Lord DeAndre's identity. You don't just get rapper energy, you get musician, skater, performer, alternative influence, rock star mentality. His own artist descriptions push that idea heavily. Not just rap, not just rock, a collision before the current trap and roll identity fully formed. Lord was already moving around some important spaces. Fans digging through older footage had pointed out moments showing him around parts of the early YSL movement during the rise of names like Young Thug, Lil Keed, and Lil Got It. This wasn't just internet lore either. Lord would eventually build musical relationships and release music both involving Lil Keed and Lil Got It. Looking back now, that hits differently because those early YSL years became one of the most influential movements in modern Atlanta rap. And somehow Lord DeAndre existed around the pieces of that story. Not center stage, but present, watching, building, and learning. Now here's where it gets interesting. Lord DeAndre uses the phrase trap and roll. And at first you think, okay, cool, rock, rap, but once you go deeper, it feels different. This isn't classic rap metal, it isn't pop punk, this isn't emo rap, it's more like southern trap energy mixed with rock attitude, skate culture, internet chaos, and live performance energy. This music moves around aggression, melodies, experimental production, guitar sections, performance records, weird textures, sometimes all in the same era. And whether you love it or hate it, you usually remember it. That matters because underground artists survive off of memorability, not perfection. Future reached out.
Oh, this was 2018, April 17th, 2018. He said, "Don't at me in your captions. Just do you. Don't mention me, fool. Do your music without mentioning my name, period." And then I had to respond. I was like, shit, the blog's trying to make it seem like I'm biting your style, but I'm just clearing the air. And then he said, "Let the bloggers be bloggers. Don't mention another man's name. Just do you!" Exclamation point. Like, he was mad. Then he said, "IDC, I don't sound like that nigga and continue to ride the wave, ain't it?" And I was just like, that's real, no pressure. I salute you. Then he sent the 100. And then I said, "Talk soon, believe it."
And for underground fans, that instantly became a moment because Future just isn't another rapper. He helped shape modern trap music. So suddenly people start asking, wait, who is this dude? Why is Future paying attention? That moment brought excitement, but also controversy. More eyes, more curiosity, more conversation. And for some underground artists, sometimes attention, it becomes fuel. But fast forward to 2026, fans are watching closely after social media teasers sparked rumors of some possible Lord DeAndre and Future collaboration sometime this year. Nothing officially confirmed yet, but the speculation alone has people talking again. As the catalog grew, certain songs started to become landmarks. Tracks like Microdosing, We Don't Give No Fuck, OMG Ski, Hull Up began putting up noticeable numbers. Hundreds of thousands of streams, some crossing into the 7 figures, and that's where the story changed. Because underground success today doesn't always mean radio. It looks like a song catching, a visual going viral, fans reposting clips, skaters using audio, random internet moments stacking together. Then suddenly, an artist has 1 million streams. No giant rollout, no industry machine, just momentum. And Future wasn't the only name to stay connected to the story. Over the time, Lord DeAndre started collecting support from different corners of music. Names fans point toward include Sway Lee, Trinidad James, Duke Deuce, and even DJ Mark B, known by many as the official DJ associated with 21 Savage. Now, does a cosign automatically make somebody huge? No. But underground history shows one thing. people notice patterns. And when enough respected names keep showing support, fans start paying attention. If music is half the story, visuals are the other half. Lord DeAndre leans heavily into imagery, dark tones, performance energy, street footage, alternative fashion, grills, high contrast, skate references, and honestly, that might be the secret sauce, because a lot of artists make music, very few build worlds. You can usually tell when something feels Lord DeAndre coded, especially with visuals like Glee, almost intentionally imperfect, like it values atmosphere over polish. And underground culture usually respects that. The skate influence goes way deeper than the aesthetics. Lord DeAndre isn't somebody who occasionally posts a kickflip. Skating is a part of the identity. He even runs a second YouTube channel called 13 Skate, dedicated completely to skateboarding sessions, lifestyle clips, progress videos, and somehow that world crossing into actual skate culture. Professional skateboarder Deshaun Jordan has shown support, collaborated musically, and linked with Lord around some events. And that's important because Deshaun exists in a rare lane, top level skating. Music, culture, crossover, exactly where Lord seems to operate. Even skate creator Gifted Hater has shown love, which has pushed the idea farther that Lord DeAndre isn't moving inside one audience. He bounces between rap fans, alternative kids, skaters, DIY communities, and underground internet culture. Now, we gotta talk about something unavoidable. If you look through the comments online, one comparison comes up constantly. Playboy Cardi. People mention the look, the visuals, the darker aesthetic, the energy, and because internet culture loves shortcuts, some people instantly jump to clone. But longtime supporters usually push back hard because underneath the surface, the paths look completely different. Lord skates, plays guitar, produces, engineers, builds visuals, and moves between rap and rock, records of much of his own material, sometimes performs with live guitar on stage. So while the comparisons keep happening, fans who know the history usually view him as his own thing. Another thing that surprises people, a lot of work happens in-house. Lord DeAndre isn't the only artist. He records his own music, engineers sessions, produces some beats, and builds songs from scratch. And many of the guitar parts heard in the records, he actually plays them. Sometimes even performing them live with a guitar on stage, which makes the Rockstar label feel less like branding and more like reality. There's probably the strangest chapter in the entire story, the alligator. Yeah, seriously, an alligator. Lord DeAndre went viral after catching a massive alligator outside a McDonald's parking lot in Macon, Georgia. That clip exploded. News outlets picked it up, social media ran with it, and suddenly people who had never heard a song were asking, wait, who is this guy? This sounds fake, and somehow it became part of the lore. And honestly, that moment kind of sums up the whole Lord DeAndre experience, to be honest. You'd be expecting one thing, and then the story goes somewhere completely different. You know, outside the music, there's another layer. Aggressive motivational speaking videos, guitar covers, skate clips, music previews, random viral moments, semi-viral moments, internet chaos, performance footage, and the deeper you dig, the more content you find. It starts feeling less like you're following one artist and following a long-running character arc. So, who is Lord DeAndre? Honestly, this story still feels unfinished, and maybe that's what makes it interesting. He isn't entering the scene after the industry already decided who he is. He's still building, still experimenting, still adding chapters. Trap, rock, skateboarding, DIY culture, internet lore, viral moments, live instruments, underground rap, all pushed into one identity. Call it rap, call it alternative, call it chaos. He calls it trap and roll. And if this is your first introduction to Lord DeAndre, there probably is a whole rabbit hole waiting for you. I'm D-Cut Chase. This is my mini doc of Lord DeAndre, and follow for more.